Oh, yeah. Long work day. Hell of a day. But, let's continue on Ken Follett's The Pillars of the Earth. And I think we left off with, Aliena alone in Cherysburg, if I'm not mistaken, looking for Jack. We're in France. Yeah. So what do we have? Pray. Guess we go here and pray to the statue of Mary.
I thank you, dear Lord.
All right, steady now.
I thank you for having spared my child. I thank you for...
Don't let go until it's done.
But why are you showing mercy on me? I failed everyone I cared about. I failed Jack. I failed my brother. And if I never return, I would also break the oath I had given Father. It's just that I feel like I've never had a life of my own. I've always fought for others. And this may be the very first time that I fight for something that I only want for myself. Maybe I should just go back and help rebuild Kingsbridge. Maybe Jack doesn't even care for me anymore. Amen. Huh.
Huh? Oh, the cobble. Okay.
I've seen one of those before.
It's amazing, isn't it? The man who did that really had it in him.
Had it in him?
Had what in him?
The spirit of a true Mason. It's a
Mason.
shame that the master let him go. In just 1 month, he did so many things.
I thought he left after 3 days.
The master builder said he'd fired him after just 3 days.
Did he? Well, maybe that's how he remembers it. The two didn't really see eye to eye, you know? To tell you the truth, everyone thinks that he feared for his own job having someone like that around. The last thing Jack did was carve that corbel. It was
Jack.
the one thing the master let him do. Then when he was done, he was asked to leave.
Your master said he had no discipline. It bears so much pain.
It bears so much pain.
I know. Jacques worked very hard on it. He was impatient and had a temper, but you could see that he tried to overcome it. Conquering that rock was very important to him.
Oh, I understand that so well. Do you happen to know where he went next?
He wanted to walk the pilgrim trail to Santiago de Compostela.
The Camino? The Way of St. James?
He said he might find someone there who knew his father.
Just one more thing. How was he when he left?
Never thought about that. Relieved, I guess. He seemed ready for something new.
Thank you so much for your help.
Think nothing of it. And good luck on your travels. May you find what you are looking for.
Far away.
Isn't it odd? Just when you stop looking, you come across the most curious of things. Like these 3 devices that one of my merchants brought back from Baghdad.
Oh no. Is it another one of your Banu Musa toys, Rashid?
They're not toys, Adriel. They're objects of scholarly ingenuity and reflection.
I will let my valued friend from the north do the honors.
Jack!
Jack, if you may.
Can we use our slingshot on the statue of the lady?
For one, let me draw
Rashid,
your
when this is
attention to
done,
the
would you
magnificent
give me the
song
statuette
on
in exchange for my slingshot?
only if you can tell me how she works.
It's a deal.
And you finish the performance for my friends.
Yes, go on, please.
And then, to that wondrous
What's
donkey
that
next to the
statue?
entrance. On second thought, why don't you save the lady for last? Otherwise, the other two devices might appear bland and boring in comparison.
I agree.
Although, the most astounding thing of all stands right between them.
Plain wood with stone eyes, with no mechanism or machinery.
That statuette.
No one know how she works.
Precisely. But one thing
It fitted
at a
perfectly
time.
into that device.
Let us let Jack decide what to demonstrate
It's
first.
empty. A candle. Rashid must never know I burned down a cathedral. Okay. Another device. Bowl with water. So...
He
if
likes
I
to
do
take his time, doesn't he?
bowl filled with water. I take the bowl with water, put it here.
And
Then,
now?
Now, Jack will heat the water in the tank.
No, because I want to look at this bird first. Donkey device. One of Rashid's new toys.
It's so beautiful it will make you cry. Just listen.
Oh, it's a steam device. The Banu Musa and Spec. The Banu Musa brothers were 3 scholars of Persian descent who lived in Baghdad in the 9th century. They are known for the Book of Ingenious Devices, a large illustrated collection of mechanical appliances and automata. These automata were largely designed for entertainment but featured innovative engineering. The brothers also wrote books on astronomy, astrology, and geometry, the last of which had a great influence on both Islamic and European mathematicians.
Well, how marvelous.
How does it work?
Maybe it's a miracle.
Right.
Right.
Go on, Jack. Tell them.
Explain it.
There's a hidden wheel inside the box. It turns an axle that in return raises and drops a sequence of small cylinders inside. These cylinders work like fingers playing a flute.
But who is blowing into the flute?
The steam.
Steam.
Steam?
Yes. When I opened the pipe, it gradually pushed itself into the tube.
The power of steam.
Steam.
For once, I must agree. This is brilliant.
Of course! It was created by a Muslim after all.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. What else have you got, Rashid?
Anyone care for some tea?
Thank you, my daughter. We will have some as soon as Jack has finished our presentation.
Mind if I watch?
Of course not.
So, who is this man, Rashid?
Jack is a friend of the house. A brilliant man, a scholar and a talented artist.
Present all 3 devices.
Just the other day, he explained Euclid to me.
What is that?
A Greek who
Although all
wrote
the
a book
devices are
called
different,
The
they always
Elements
work with
of
water in one way or
Geometry.
another.
Of course. If they're inspired by the Banu Musa, they should be.
The Egyptians translated it into Arabic, and now the Englishmen are turning it into Latin.
Do I put it back?
I could watch this man scoop up water all day. How very peculiar. You showed it to us already.
Now, watch the head. Just any moment now. There. Did you see?
It threw up.
Rashid, this is disgusting.
Oh, far from it. Would you kindly explain how it works, Jack?
It's pure magic.
It's pure magic.
Is it?
I've heard that these northerners believe in all kinds of things.
That God has a son made of flesh and blood, for example.
Mocking one's prophets can go in both directions, Adriel.
I am very certain that my God can take your weak little jokes, Rashid.
So, how does it work?
That small floating bowl has a hole at the bottom, gradually filling it with water. Once the bowl is full, it pulls on a string, making the ball drop from the mouth. The ball then hits a weight, pulling the bowl back up, thus resetting the entire mechanism.
If you timed it perfectly, you could make it drop a ball at every hour.
Turning it into a clock. How clever.
For me, it's still nothing more than a puking donkey.
Show us more, Rashid.
One could join those two and build a singing donkey clock. One song after every hour.
That would be clever.
That would
Yo,
be pretty
Strider.
clever.
I know, right?
How you doing?
You could be the one to build it.
Oh, that would be unfair. It's your invention.
I would let you have it. Or we design it together.
You still haven't shown us that statuette yet.
Of course. Jack, if you may.
You mean my question to you? Or present all three devices? But where's the last device? This one.
Oh, you will love this. Just watch.
I know one Kuka who asked, how are you doing? It's just, you know the old, is it Joey from Friends? Whenever he meets like a pretty lady or something, he says, how you doing? Put it on the small table. But, okay, let me rephrase. How are you doing today?
Just be patient, but
Kind
don't
sir.
look away. It takes some time for her to...
To do what?
Is it crying? Isn't that amazing?
No, it's irritating. Rashid, what is going on?
It's a mystery.
It's a mystery.
Rashid, please.
We all know that there is no such thing as a
I hope you're doing
man-made
well.
miracle.
And this piece of wood is very clearly made by man.
I very much agree, my friends. But so far, none of us has an explanation.
All we know for certain is that her glassy eyes shed tears when you move her from warmth into cold.
Like a plant at sunrise. Like dew. The only difference is the surface. That's all.
Ask her to go on.
I think you may be onto something.
Am I? Of course, I had no intention of disturbing your conversation. But if you can find out why there's dew gathering on a plant, you may understand why that woman is so weepy. So, who wants a cup of tea?
I'll have some.
Your daughter is quite something, Rashid. A scholar in her own right.
I know. I'd rather she wasn't. It would make marrying her off so much easier.
Oh, I'm certain that won't stay a problem for long.
Maybe the dew originates from invisible water in the air. Water that stays hidden when it's hot.
On the Camino de Campo. Blah, blah, blah. That place.
The pilgrim trails across France converged at Osterbat in the foothills of the Pyrenees. There, the group of 20 or so pilgrims who had been traveling alongside me since I'd left Tours swelled to
Oh, sorry.
about 70. Some were prosperous citizens, some probably on the run from justice, a few drunks, and several monks and clergymen. Several languages were spoken, including Flemish, a German tongue, and a southern French language called Op. Nevertheless, there was no lack of communication among them, and as we crossed the Pyrenees, they sang, played games, told stories, and in several cases had love affairs. While my baby and I kept mostly to ourselves.
Ganz schön frech, die mit ihrem Kind.
Hush now.
Rock the baby. Now him a song. Rock the baby.
dreist.
Rock the baby.
Kann ein Mann nicht einfach mal seine Ruhe haben? Der Weg aus Babenberg war doch anstrengend genug.
Go for a walk.
Ein Kind hat ja auch gar nichts verloren. Stimmt doch, oder?
Maybe they know where he
I
is.
already tried
Jetzt ist's
that.
aber gut.
No one has seen or heard about Jack.
Down the riverside. Oh, shit. Where can we go? There's the bridge.
Tomorrow.
Oh, there's a blind woman there.
Dear Lord, what are you doing? You should get out of the water. It's freezing.
My ring! I lost my ring! Dear Lord, please show mercy.
She lost her ring. What do we have? Can she hold the baby?
She's not
to me.
listening.
Please come back to me.
Search for ring.
Where are you? Where did you go?
Oh, there it is. There it is. The big flashy thing. I found it. God damn it.
Come back to me. Please come back to me.
I found it.
Yes. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. You are a very kind woman. So very, very kind.
I'm glad I could help.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Tell me about your ring. Are you getting warmer?
Are you getting warmer?
I am, thank you.
Tell me about your ring.
I can see this ring is very precious to you.
It was a gift from my stepmother. She thought I would stay forever, but I didn't.
Why did you leave?
Why did you leave?
Oh, I thought I didn't belong. She always said I was her daughter, but I was sure she was lying. I was so selfish and so stupid. Too stupid to see I really was happy.
Tell me about your stepmother.
Tell me about your stepmother.
She was such a kind woman. So very, very kind.
Maybe you really weren't happy.
Maybe you really weren't happy.
I don't know. I was very young and thought I was unhappy because I didn't live close to the sea. But in the end, the sea did not feel the same about me. The cold there made me sick. It took away my sight.
It was courageous of you to leave.
It was courageous of you to leave. You did what your heart told you to.
I was stupid. So stupid.
Ah, that's why you went on the pilgrimage.
Yes, so that St. James might see my devotion, and I will be united with my mother in heaven. I'm just not as kind as you. Not kind at all.
You're too hard on yourself.
You're too hard on yourself.
I don't know.
I, too, am trying to make amends with the one man I loved the most. I was told he went straight to Santiago.
You will know soon.
Not soon enough. It's still 4 weeks till I get there.
He'll be there, I'm sure of it.
I hope so. I just feel that with every day that passes, I'm losing him a bit more. And that the only thing I can allow myself still to hope for is not love, but forgiveness.
I understand.
Hey, hush now. Not long now and our journey will be over,
Camino de Santiago. Inspect. El Camino de Santiago, also known as the Way of St. James, is a Christian pilgrimage route to the Cathedral of Santiago de Compostela, where the remains of Jesus' apostle St. James the Great were presumably put to rest. The pilgrimage to Santiago, besides Jerusalem and Rome, is one of the most important pilgrimages in Christianity, and is believed to be one of the only ways to free a pilgrim of their sins. By the 12th century, it has become a well-organized undertaking. Even a book was written as a travel guide for pilgrims, the Codex Calixtinus, supporting the pilgrims in completing their travel. The scallop shelf is used to guide the pilgrims on their way and serve as symbol for St. James and the Camino, because at the end of their travel, the pilgrims will almost have reached the ocean. walk the Camino.
The woman's name was Alba. She came from a small town somewhere in Catalonia. I quickly got used to her constantly feeling out for her stepmother's ring and the sad guilt that would always follow in her milky eyes. I wasn't sure if she appreciated my company, but I couldn't leave her on her own either. By the time we reached Los Arcos, she'd stopped talking, while I kept on dropping a kind word here and there to let her know I was still by her side.
Walk the Camino.
Alba believed herself to be of weak mind and body, and yet she walked the Camino with a strong sense of purpose that willed her onward. It made me wonder about what I'd told her about my own journey. Did I hope for love, or was I really traveling because I needed him to forgive me? But what was there to forgive? My decision to marry Alfred had been in the best interest of the people of Shiring. It was a sacrifice I had to make to stop the evil reign of William Hamley. These questions had haunted me for a long time now. But if I really was going to see Jack soon, it was time to make up my mind.
Oh, I didn't see that. So we can actually zoom out of the entire map. Okay. Got a long way ahead of us.
Around Leon, the path began to gradually turn uphill. It was only 2 more weeks till we'd reached Santiago. The baby was in a good mood, and so, surprisingly, was Alba.
That's kind of cool.
After Astorga, the trail got more difficult. Alba became slower and slower, and we had to rest more. She became quiet again. The strain on her old body grew, and she worried that she might not be able to reach the end. Still, we managed to push onward.
Ferrata?
The next morning, she refused to get up. Her breathing was disturbingly shallow, and she hardly noticed me touching her forehead. Everything hurts, she said, and urged me to continue without her.
Stay with her.
Of course, I stayed with her. I brought her food and water and sat by her side. But day after day, her condition grew worse. She kept on urging me to go, to find Jack, saying the monks of Ponferrada would take care of her.
Continue to stay.
I'd hardly known her, and most of the time she'd tried to push me away, as if she considered herself a nuisance that slowed me down and who didn't deserve company. It wasn't until a few moments before she died that, for the first time, she smiled at me, and I like to believe that she saw me smile back.
Aww.
I still like to believe that here, in this unlikely place, dying next to a near stranger, she'd found a moment of serenity and happiness, but she'd not reached Santiago. When I left, that thought still haunted me. To see that a journey could come to an end so suddenly. But what would be different if she had reached Santiago? Could she have been disappointed by what she found?
Head on to Santiago de Compostela. Blah, blah, blah. Words. After a month of traveling on the way...
After months of hard travel, the child and I finally reached Santiago de Compostela. In the evening, we attended Mass in the great cathedral, then started to roam the town looking for my dear Jack. It was almost dawn when finally a priest pointed me to an inn close by.
Oh, look at the dog. What do we have? Got some jars. Can we pet the dog? No. There's the innkeeper. Fireplace. Someone left them here. Or forgot them. Can we ask her about Jack?
I'm looking for a man who likes to read a lot.
E logo anda sempre cun libro en riba.
Have you seen anyone like that?
Pero, por que levas un libro en riba? Basta escangallar co peso.
She doesn't even understand that I'm looking for a person yet.
Another cathedral. Jack may have been there. Can I show her the book?
She doesn't even understand that I'm looking for a person yet.
But what do I have? Show her the baby?
Oh, que cousiña! Eche rubio!
See, redhead.
Have you seen his father?
Have you seen his father, Padre del Niño? Jack Jackson?
Ven sendo un peregrino?
What?
É un peregrino?
Oh, no. He's not a pilgrim.
Entón, quen ven sendo?
Point at something?
Let me show you something.
Point at the cathedral.
He's a mason. He builds things like that.
Ah, eche masón. Albanel.
Sí, a mason. It's the same word in Galician.
Por aquí pasan unha morea de masóns. Non me poderías dicir algo máis sobre el?
Oín falar dun masón que dis que se dedica a traducir libros en Toledo.
Polo visto, di que se chama Jack.
Yes, Jack. Have you seen him?
Non sei cal será o seu apelido, pero ben é certo que non chai moitos masóns rubios aos que lles guste ler. Se tan desesperada está, por que non vai a Toledo a comprobalo por si mesma?
Entón, marchou para Toledo.
He went to Toledo?
He went to Toledo?
A Toledo marchou, sí.
Di que o teu Jack podería estar en Toledo.
All right, so I will go to Toledo then. Gracias. I just pray that I understood you correctly.
Dun. Travel to Toledo. I can't go back? No. A month. Wow.
Buenos dias. Parlez-vous français? English?
Of course. How may I help you?
I was told a man named Jack Jackson lives in this house.
Who told you this?
A group of scholars living at the edge of town. They said he used to translate old scriptures about mathematics before he moved here.
Please wait here. I will talk with Master Rashid.
What can we look at? Look at the fountain. So big and light. Nothing like the houses at home. What is the talking taking so long? What a wondrous fountain. Pillars. They remind me of the cloister in Kingsbridge. Oh, a lizard. House. Take a peek inside. Stay out. Can we go somewhere else? Another pointed arch. Is the baby thirsty?
You'd like that, wouldn't you?
I guess we have to go inside. I don't see there's any other way. Only to keep away the good and not the bad weather. Jack must love them. What if he doesn't want to leave? What if he's happier without me? Wondrous fountain. Almost like a real spring. Huh? Now let's go inside. Songbird device. A slingshot.
It's his.
Jack is here. That's all the proof I need. What is this? An artificial bird connected to whatever that is. Small tape. Looks well crafted. Empty. Craftsmanship. Lifelike than a painting. Okay. Vault. Very elaborate. Never seen anything like this. What's that? There's a young woman.
Oh, there you are. May I ask who let you stroll around our house?
I'm looking for someone.
I travelled hundreds of miles looking for a man called Jack Jackson. A scholar told me that I would find him here.
Yes, my servant told me already. My father's not here at the moment, so you'll have to make do with me. Unfortunately, I must disappoint you. There's no one called Jack living in this house.
Maybe he took it. I found his slingshot.
He must be here. I found his slingshot.
What? Who allowed you inside my father's archive?
I did. I didn't mean to be disrespectful.
I didn't mean to be disrespectful of your hospitality.
I just hope for your sake you didn't touch anything. Every piece in there is precious to my father, even that slingshot. I'm sorry, but this is not easy for any of us. I think you should know that Jack and I are promised to each other. Maybe we should go inside. The sun's burning, and my mother doesn't need to hear us. Jack told me about you. You are Aliena. You're the one who rejected him and married his stepbrother.
I did.
And now you want him back.
I need my son to meet his father.
I need my son to meet his father.
His father? The little one is Jack's son.
He is.
He always said that he had come here to find out about his family. But instead, he found out about everything else. About philosophy, mathematics. When he and my father met, it was love at first sight. They studied together and made great plans. But in the end, Jack would always start talking about his cathedral again. This great church he would build one day. Rib vaults and pointed windows. He'd ramble on about it for hours and stare up at that ceiling. We three sat here for hours and talked. And then in the evenings, it would be just the two of us. So many strange ideas about the future. Some barely more than silly dreams. Others almost in arm's reach.
He always had his head in the clouds.
He always had his head in the clouds.
Oh, yes. Well, he's not here anymore. My father had offered him work as a master builder here in Toledo. He would have been well off and free to spend his evenings under vaults like this, with me as his wife. But in the end, he refused. Tell me, did you really marry his stepbrother?
I had to.
It was the hardest decision I ever made. But it also felt like a sacrifice I had to make to fulfill a promise I made to my father. It was all for nothing. I thought I had no choice. I didn't want to hurt him. Believe me.
I do. You know, he left me because of you.
What?
Even after all you did to him, he couldn't let go. You can be glad that you ran into me and not my mother. She was enraged when he left.
He can have that effect on people.
But apart from that, we made our peace with him. Father even gave him one of his favorite pieces of his collection as a parting gift. A small wooden statue with stone eyes in exchange for his slingshot.
Would you mind telling me where he went?
He went to Paris to work on the Cathedral of Saint-Denis. He said he never found out about his father, so there was no reason to stay down here anymore.
Paris?
Yes. If you find him there, tell him I don't miss him.
Wow. I'm sorry for all of this.
I am sorry for all this.
You don't have to be. What is the child's name, by the way?
He has none yet. I wouldn't name him without Jack.
Isn't that a bit silly?
Maybe. But he's his son as well as mine. It's his right to have a say in it too.
Then off to Paris. That baby needs a name.
He will get one. Thank you.
We walk all the way back.
I travelled back along the Way of St. James, passing through Astorga, Lyon, and Burgos. I crossed the Pyrenees, revisiting Bordeaux, Angoulême, Poitiers, but never stayed longer than one night. The closer I came to Paris, the stronger my old doubts and fears resurfaced. If Jack really was there, what was I to say to him?
I don't know. I was sure I would slap. I would pull him very, very close. I would pull him very, very close. Come on, why not?
I'd pull him very, very close, wishing for all the wounds to heal as quickly as they could.
Barry. Find Jack. Workers, masons. No, not him. He's not here. Maybe he's not here at all. Construction site. Can I ask this guy?
If he's here, I'll find him on my own.
Fair enough.
I can't just leave. Even if he doesn't want to see me, he deserves to see his son.
Is that him? Colorful.
There. Are we awake then? You almost missed this. Look at these colourful windows. Look at the light.
He's right behind you. Jesus, woman.
Ali.
We came to see you, Jack.
We? Is he?
Yep.
He is your son.
My son?
I'm sorry.
It's not your fault. Ali, where do we go from here?
Wherever we go, I want to go with you.
Will you marry me? Both of you.
We will. We stayed in Paris as husband and wife. And our son, Tommy. The days went by quickly. Jack had learned much working as a builder in Saint-Denis. Days became months. Then after a year, we both grew restless. Where can we go from here? We asked ourselves again. We both confessed that we wanted to see our families, our friends. And then we knew where we wanted to go. Home. Even if it was in shambles.
Sherbrooke Harbor.
We need to hurry. The ship to England will leave soon.
What's going on here?
Whatever it is, if the crowd doesn't clear up, we'll miss our ship.
Our carriage. Nobody pays attention.
Could make the horse get their attention.
Or ride it through the crowd.
That sounds a bit dangerous, doesn't it?
You think?
Our chest. The inside of the box kept her warm and the wood slightly damp. Calm the crowd.
Do you know what's going on?
Oh, chaos. I can't get these people to calm down. God knows I tried.
What happened?
The jongleur told the crowd a few stories. Then he sold people some miracle charms, but it was just fairy tales and painted stones.
Well, it always is.
I know, but I'd need a real miracle to calm them down now. Otherwise, they'll rip him apart.
We got the Crying Mary.
Oh, what a remarkably foreign-looking likeness of the Holy Virgin.
Do you think this might calm them down?
I've already tried appealing to their faith. It would require a direct word from God to calm them down.
Can we use the slingshot on the angry mob?
No, that would only get me in trouble.
Use it on the jongleur?
Better not.
Can we give that
She
to
doesn't
the
do anything yet, but if I stood with her where it's colder...
shady spot?
Do you see? It's working.
Your friend Rashid must be quite the miracle worker.
Liquid is forming on her eyes. Now we can use it on the angry mob.
Look! What's going on? The Holy Mother. She's crying.
Look at her.
Revere the Holy Mother, for she has blessed us with a sign from the heavens. Cease your doings right now and witness the miracle.
It's true! Lord in heaven. Why is she crying?
Because of your actions.
She weeps for your sins. What has this man done to you that you would treat him like a wild animal?
He tricked us and took our coin.
And you would kill him for your own foolishness. The Holy Virgin weeps, for you are not living by the word of God.
It is the Mother of God.
Forgive us, Holy Mother. Where did she come from?
Come up with a story.
For hundreds of years, she languished in the land of the Saracens. Dormant, she has been waiting for the one to bring her home.
Listen to what he has to say. The Holy Virgin has chosen this young family to protect her. Tell us all where you are headed.
Her destination is beyond these waters. In the small town of Kingsbridge, in the earldom of Shiring. There she wants to rest.
Kingsbridge? Where's that?
Hail Mary!
Make way for the Holy Virgin!
Hallelujah!
Make Robert well!
Huh?
Blessed Mary, let my daughter conceive.
Give us a good harvest.
they're donating to ask for her blessing.
Oh. The Weeping Madonna shall hear your prayer. And with your donations, I shall build her a new shrine at Kingsbridge, a cathedral.
It's you.
Me?
Who do you mean?
You. The red-haired ghost.
Me? A ghost?
My husband is very much alive. I've known him since he was 12 years old.
But he drowned. By God, you drowned. 24 years ago. On the White Ship. My poor son. My Jacques.
His name was Jacques.
Jacques Cherbourg.
Jacques Cherbourg.
You felt hopeful on the ship from England to Normandy. You followed the coachwoman's advice and ran into a dead end in Bellfleur. You and your baby fell seriously ill, but you both managed to survive. You helped another pilgrim along the way of St. James. You snuck into Rashid's sacred archive. You stole Jack's slingshot from Rashid. You found Jack in Paris. You decided to go back to Kingsbridge. You saved the jongleur from a lynch mob. You met Jack's grandmother and finally learned about the faith of your father. Chapter 16. Home.
So much has grown, but there are no roots, no herbs.
A scuttle? I don't have a command to scuttle, though.
What are you looking at, Jonathan?
I don't even know what it refers to, Strider.
Disorder.
Maybe I don't know the meme
I want
or
it to
the...
be right again, but I don't know how to do it.
Before I became prior, I thought the same about Kingsbridge.
Well, what did you do?
I cleaned up.
Where do we start?
Loosen the soil.
For plants to take root, the soil must be loose and fertile.
Oh, so we have to dig?
But it's still overgrown with weeds.
So, what can we do?
Well...
What do you think, kid? Oh, you have to think about it? Jesus. Suggest to pluck weeds. Duh.
Some plants are weeds and must go before we can plant new seeds.
What are weeds?
They take away what the other plants need to grow. Light, water, room.
What do we do?
Pluck them. They look a lot like every other plant, so you need to learn how to tell them apart. Here, you see those? They're called wood sorrel. Let's pluck only those for now.
I'll do it.
If you insist. Make sure to pull out all of the thin roots.
And now what do I do?
Loosen the soil.
Now we can prepare the soil.
So, may I dig now? done. What's next?
Plant the seed.
Stay here. I'll be right back. Now, where did you put them? Ah, here they are.
The beach mark I gave to Milius a long time ago.
I found these nuts for you. Remember, Milius? You always said that one day there will be a beech tree growing here. I think it's about time.
Aww. Milius and Cobalt.
What did you bring?
Do you remember Milius? A kind man with a warm smile. Well, he told me to give you this.
Wow!
Now we just have to wait.
You don't want to water the seed?
How long?
Too long for us to keep sitting here.
That long.
Some things take time. And only with patience will you receive your reward.
Why do we have to do all these things if all we had to do is wait?
Simply waiting would not have been enough, Jonathan. You just paved the way for things to take their course. They are happening right now. And in a few days' time, we will return and see the first green leaf of something new.
Oh. Is it God's reward?
Maybe.
Does he make things grow?
You made it.
No, I just planted the seed.
Suggest to water the seed.
Now you can fetch some water from the rain barrel.
But that water's smelly. It's been there forever. There are many trees by the river. I bet that water's better.
That's a longer walk, though.
I don't mind. The distance is worth it.
Maybe you're right. It is worth it. Let's walk together then.
But I'll carry the bucket.
Kingsbridge later that day.
Why isn't Remigius holding the sermon? What's gotten into Philip?
Our church lies in ruins. But all of this, these dire times, have revealed something important to us. Something that, maybe until today, I wasn't aware of.
What do you mean?
Claim that they don't need a church. Claim that God doesn't watch them. Claim that they don't need a church.
You've been praying in these ruins. But you've been praying like you always did, in humbleness. We don't need a church for prayer.
Where else are we going to pray? The chapter house?
The church is where God resides.
God doesn't work in the ways we might assume. Today, Jonathan tended to our garden to make it beautiful again. And he told me of things I almost had forgotten. Good and evil are not in here or out there. They are within each of us.
Claim that man is God.
God made us in his image. Thus, we carry the godly spark within us. But we have witnessed that man can have the devil in his heart as well. Prayer needs no special place, for we are his church. In our actions, he exists.
We are God's temple.
No man is closer to God than any other man. Whether you pray in church or on the streets of our towns, whether you're a man, woman, monk, or bishop.
Philip, look outside. You have to see them. You've got to see the horses and the colours.
Jonathan.
Listen to him.
Now, what's going on?
I heard noises and I went to look.
Calm down. What happened?
But the priest said they brought a miracle.
Who? What? What priest?
Step right up, brothers and sisters. For you are about to see something that will change your life.
Who is that?
They brought us a miracle.
A miracle?
Don't be shy. There is no danger, just awe that awaits you here. Ah, you must be Prior Philip. I am Brother Reynold. I have been sent by the Archbishop of Canterbury. Here is his letter, in case you have reasonable doubts.
Letter from Archbishop of Canterbury. Philip of Kingsbridge. O David, I hereby implore you to accept the grace of the Weeping Madonna, for she has chosen Kingsbridge as her shrine. As the rumors of a miracle had come to my ears, I had called for the procession to see me. I then saw it with my own eyes. She is real. I have claimed the miracle for England and had intended to retain her in Winchester. The guardians of the Madonna have convinced me otherwise. You're Mr. Wise. They have to come to England only to support the rebuilding of Kingsbridge. You have my blessing, Philip of Kingsbridge. I expect you to restore your priory to be worthy of the Holy Madonna. Theobald, Archbishop of Canterbury.
We've been charged to accompany the Weeping Madonna. She is to replace the loss of your relic, Saint Adolphus the Martyr, who was taken from you, I hear, with brute force.
What?
On her travel from far away Africa, she has collected donations to reward Kingsbridge for your faith in her.
Oh no, it's
and
Jack
in the
and
Lord.
Aliena on the side of it.
This. What is all this?
You do believe. That is why she came. And that is why you shall witness her miracle for yourself today.
It's Jack on his left side and Aliena on his
The
on
Weeping
the right
Madonna came to me in a faraway land named Africa. A baptized
Don't question
Saracen
him.
was her former guardian.
Please tell us more.
Of course. My words shall prepare you for the sight of the Holy Madonna. I knew not her powers or destination. Nevertheless, I carried her for many miles.
There's something
many bore
odd about
witness
them.
to her miracle.
Not very Christian.
Before
More like
it
entertainers.
dawned upon me.
Excuse me.
Don't interrupt.
But I wondered, what shrine should be her shelter? This time, it was the Madonna herself who answered my questions.
Hey!
Hey!
She said, "You shall build me a new church in Kingsbridge."
People donated for us?
So
But
we
why
set
would
off
they keep about?
with the blessing of Archbishop Theobald of Canterbury. And along the road, from Paris, across Normandy.
Please tell us more.
Of course. My words shall prepare you for the sight of the Holy Madonna.
Let's listen to him. Yet nothing
The
happened.
Weeping Madonna has chosen you.
Explore
All
surroundings.
of you.
Yo, Mr. Dancer.
I will tell you again, dear brothers and... The Weeping
Strange
Madonna
animals.
has chosen you.
They look
All of you.
almost like horses.
I could have continued to carry her
Hollow.
from town to
Feels like a
town
wicker basket
until
covered
my
in
flesh
pelt.
succumbed. But this
A juggler.
was not her will.
Do you speak English?
No English, no campandare. No.
Oh, what's this? I think you might have stepped into horse dung.
What? Where?
No English, is it?
Just un poco, si.
Could you talk to this man, Martha?
Yes, it's strange. He was quite talkative just a moment ago. He told me he was from Damascus in Africa.
Isn't Damascus in Arabia?
There's one in Africa too, I'm sure.
Why are you pretending you can't speak English?
No inglese, melada.
But I wondered, what shrine should be her shelter? This time,
Or
it
in
was
monks.
the Madonna herself who answered my questions. Now, brothers and sisters,
Tell me the truth.
I
Why
have
are
heard
you here?
We are
life
guardians
has
of the
not
Holy
been
Virgin
kind
that sheds
to
tears. We were appointed by the Archbishop of Canterbury, but it was the Holy Virgin herself who chose us while she travelled through Europe.
Oh, yes. How did that happen?
She speaks without words.
But it is in places like these.
So you're telling me this is a real miracle?
Like these.
A miracle, a
that
blessing,
God's light
a wonder.
shines brightest. And along the road,
Audience.
from Paris, across Normandy.
My dear people,
Oh, I'm so excited to see a true miracle. Did you hear that? The Madonna has chosen us.
She's come all the way from Africa.
Over the sea.
Can we examine the back of the card?
way to Kingsbridge. Devout Christians
Cover.
have given money
Tapestry
for
hides
the
white
building
cover.
of the Church of the
White,
Weeping
very
Madonna.
simple cloth.
This church.
Just look at the
of
curtains.
that's not fit for a shrine.
Kingsbridge.
And I think there's
Now,
someone snoring in there.
Brothers
Strange.
and sisters,
Nothing
I have
sacred
heard
about this.
that life has not been kind to Kingsbridge, but it is in places like these, and in dark
Anything else we can do
times
here? Can't go
like
in.
these, that God's light shines bright. And along the road, from Paris, across Normandy,
Please, everyone.
Shh! We want to listen to his story.
over the sea, and all the way to Kingsbridge.
You talk more to the juggler?
Another question.
Bonjour. Mi no comprendere. No comprendere. No comprendere.
What about if I read you the holy text?
What is in this book will not help me more than the answers I can find in my own heart.
Let's talk to Jonathan.
Jonathan?
They're about to show the miracle. Look.
Religious.
Brother Reynold. I've heard of a Reynold from the coast. A scheming drunkard who lives as a traveling monk.
You think that's him?
Perhaps it is, perhaps it's not. I don't trust him either way.
Oh, there's a kid?
You must be thinking, how can he be so short? In the beginning,
Little boy.
I only had my faith. I knew not her powers or destination.
Ask boy for his name.
Nevertheless,
I am Philip. Who are you, young man?
I could have continued to carry her from town to town until my flesh
Ask boy if he doesn't want to see the miracle.
But this
Don't you want to see the miracle too?
I wondered, what shrine should be her shelter?
There is much to contemplate, but
This
not
time,
now.
it was the Madonna herself who answered my questions. And I will tell you again. She is a true miracle that will change your life as she changed. Can you feel it? Brothers and sisters, you are about to witness a miracle. The Madonna knows how you have suffered. The Virgin Mother had to witness the rise and fall of her son, our Lord Jesus
So it's a
Christ,
horse disguised
who
as a
never stopped
camel?
believing. Kingsbridge has endured many hardships. Prior James left you before his time when you needed him the most. Your old cathedral was burned to the ground.
How do you know this?
And your new one collapsed even before construction was finished. You have suffered the ruthless destruction of your market, homes, and lives.
Dada.
All of you have lost husbands, wives, and children, family and friends.
Dada.
All of you know how it is to be hungry and afraid. But you have kept your faith. And the Madonna knows. She will weep for you and the suffering of mankind. For she knows how it is to lose a son and feel...
Jack. Aliena.
Philip.
But this is...
A miracle, isn't it? Or something along those lines.
But how?
Yo, Bitterman,
We thought it was
welcome.
time to give Tommy a home.
The boy? Your boy?
Well,
I guess you're still at work. Isn't it
do you
like what?
recognize him? Our little Tommy?
Worth 3:30 at your place? Where have you been?
It's been almost 3 years since I last saw you, Jack. Where on earth did you find him?
I'd almost given up looking for him. Then
Oh,
Tommy
nice.
found him.
And you decided to come back.
Well, this is our home, after all.
Then what on earth is all this? This miracle?
With the Madonna, we were able to collect donations for your priory and for Kingsbridge.
Really?
We can start anew. We can rebuild the cathedral.
What's the catch?
I'll get to be master builder.
Why?
I've studied the cathedrals, churches, and houses they build in France and Spain. I saw how different their constructions were, with new shapes, colors, and ideas. Oh, you should have seen it. They combined rib vaulting and pointed arches. I want to do that. That's why.
Why here?
Because this is home.
Condemn their lies.
What you're doing is selling the people a lie. This is a harmless deception.
There is no such thing as a harmless deception.
It serves the same purpose as an illuminated drawing in the Bible.
Our show illustrates the truth that the Weeping Madonna comes from a faraway land, which it does.
And she can weep too. Though that is more of a technical achievement.
You want to sell something explainable as a miracle?
The church does the same. You said so yourself. You even wrote a book about it.
Yes, I said that it was not right that the church is faking miracles.
But it works, doesn't it?
Oh.
Jack! Aliena, you came back!
We wanted to see you, little sister.
How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. But look at you! And the little one!
Tommy.
How are the others?
Alfred left Kingsbridge. Richard shows up every now and then, and Ellen returned to the forest.
We need to visit her.
What's wrong, Mother?
I'm glad you're back.
I am too. Very glad.
She looks like she's about to cry.
She will weep for your suffering, Kingsbridge. She knows your pain.
What now?
The miracle!
Her eyes are wet.
Her eyes!
Look at her.
They're shining!
She cannot hold her tears any longer.
She is made of wood. It's impossible.
Why are you weeping?
She is mute ever since her husband died.
The Madonna has suffered as I have. She understands.
It seems through her faith in all of your lies, Mary has found a miracle. We can't keep trying to repair Kingsbridge by ourselves. Things are not improving. We're struggling to keep things as they are.
But we can't afford to hire help.
Without farming and fairs, we're back to Prior James's time.
All these past years, my advice was good enough for you. But it appears you've changed your mind now, again.
It is time we started doing something to wake up and make Kingsbridge what it used to be. We did before, and we can do it again.
I'm not willing to accept a risk like that. Don't you remember what happened last time? My, how easily we forget.
I remember well.
And still, you put your trust into a group of random strangers to make things better.
Random?
Philip, why in God's name have you stood by and let this happen? They're tricking us into giving them money for false idols.
They are giving us money.
So that we'll place this idol in our priory? Do you approve of this?
Condone miracle. Nope, David.
People need hope, and these travelers are giving them hope. Yes, it is a deception, but with good intentions. Mary speaks again. Is that not a true miracle?
You fell for them. You really did. And now you joyfully take part in their deceptions. I'm warning you. I cannot support a prior who tolerates heresy.
Your threat won't sway me. No matter how unconventional, their return and their gift are a blessing.
You made your decision, Philip of Gwynedd. And now, I make mine. I resign. I'm leaving the Priory.
Fine. Thank God.
You got so big, Tommy. And you're just as shy as your father was.
Don't let him fool you. Usually, he's always up to something.
We sign him as?
Tom would have been proud of you. Of both of you.
Is she still here?
Hmm?
Tom's wife.
Oh, no. Martha and I moved her to Kingsbridge. She's with Tom now. He always wanted that.
Ellen, we found Jack's family in Cherbourg.
The place he came from wasn't Cherbourg, it was Cherbourg.
Really? What were they like?
They were good people.
His grandmother said Jack looked just like him, like his father.
He does. But they never came for him or asked about him.
They thought he was dead. His ship sunk. He'd always wanted to go to England.
Have you ever heard of the White Ship?
No.
The king's family drowned.
My father was there. He was the only one who survived.
Not for long.
You told me that he was accused of stealing a chalice.
Yes. But I know he was innocent. I heard the story and had to find out what he looked like. He told me his name. I fell in love. I helped him escape. But in the end, they caught up with us.
What happened then?
They hanged him. I was there. And you were there, Jack. But you weren't born yet. He was led to the gallows. Everyone was quiet. The people somehow knew he was not a thief. But I knew for sure. He told me. He was so afraid. He didn't want to die. I didn't want him to die. And I prayed. Then I heard his voice. Quiet.
Sang sweeter than ever, as if the falling melody might wing and net dissever. At dusk the hunter took his prey, the lark his freedom never.
No!
That's a bit harsh.
You said that 3 men were responsible for Father's death.
Who were they?
The Sheriff of Shiring, Percy Hamley, Prior James of Kingsbridge, and Archdeacon Waileran Bygod. They showed no mercy. Neither did I. I curse you! All of you! He will return to haunt you! One day, you will be judged for what you did. Your houses shall be consumed by fire. Your life shall end in pain and agony. You shall grow old in sadness and regret.
What a plot twist.
The people they killed will return to haunt them. I promised them.
We welcome our new prior, Remigius. He helped to recover the...
I really need to go feed the cats because they're sitting here next to me and acting like kids. So let me just pause this and feed them and be back. It will take a few minutes. And we're back. So let's continue.
Bones of the Saint of Kingsbridge, Adolphus, from the hands of thieves. Adolphus already rests safely in this great...
It's capturing. Good.
Cathedral of Shiring. Our master builder Alfred promised me that it will only be a matter of a few years until the cathedral will be finished. And the Earl of Shiring has promised to support us. But he has not done so for himself. No, the Earl is not a selfish man. His mother, Lady Hamley, is sick. More and more, I feel the whole of England is suffering from a sickness. The sickness of war, poverty, and most of all, heathen beliefs. I have spoken to God. I asked him, begged him to walk amongst us, to heal us. But God told me that only when this great cathedral is finished will he have a temple to reside in. No matter the cost, this shall be a towering castle to protect us from evil and false beliefs. With this cathedral, we will bring an end to the dark times.
Waileran, by God!
Jack? What are you doing here?
My father died by your hands, Waileran. His name was Jacques Cherbourg.
How dare you talk to the bishop like that?
He died right here!
Who are you?
I know that man. He's that bastard from Kingsbridge.
That man is my husband.
You?
All of you, listen to what we have to say. From now on, Kingsbridge is protected.
By our knights, by our walls, and by the word of the king.
So whatever you do, we will defend our town, our market and fulling mills.
And our cathedral, which we shall rebuild. All workers are invited to come and work for us.
Preposterous.
If you so much as try to bring harm to us, Bishop, we will make sure that you pay for everything you did.
You helped Jonathan plant a new tree. You've held your first sermon in a long time. You approved the deception of the Madonna, for it gives people hope. Eliana and Jack have returned to Kingsbridge. Can't we just kill them?
It had been 3 years. 3 years of drought. 3 years of hunger and poverty. England was brought to its knees. Only our walls had kept us safe from the bands of outlaws raiding towns and villages. Bishop Waileran and William Hamley forced the workers to finish their cathedral in Shiring. Many had died. The work on our own cathedral had almost come to a halt. 4 weeks the storm had raged on. It was then that our cathedral gave up its last secret.
The crack in the wall.
And everything changed.
Tom, I don't think you would have liked the sight of this. I don't think you would have liked the sight of this at all. I know, you'd not planned the cathedral to be that high. But I reinforced the walls, like in Saint Denis. The storm shouldn't be that much of a problem. But if it's not the storm, then what is it?
The east wall is about to collapse. Why? What would be the cause? Check my tools. Hammer and chisel. Wall. No telling how long it will hold.
No. I don't want to break more stones loose.
Oh, come on. You already burned it down as a kid. A small crack.
The vaulting is cracked.
Vaulting unstable? Is this damaging the wall? Hammer and chisel.
If I make it worse, then we'll at least know what the problem is. Be easier without this sand everywhere. All right. One more time.
God damn it, game.
Damn. I'm getting old.
You are.
If the vaulting were unstable, this part would have collapsed and the wall would retract. The cause of the problem is not up here. Tom. What would you have done now? When we erected the eastern wall 17 years ago, there was also a crack. Yes. No matter what we did, it always came back. But this is not the same wall. We rebuilt it.
No matter fail, hey.
The cause could have been the same in both cases.
The ground.
Ground is the same. But it had never been that dry. We had no problems with the rest of the walls.
The crypt.
The crypt! Huh? Yes, Tom. You kept the whole foundation there as it was. But it never had to carry this much weight before. That's it! The problem must be down there.
They were enraged. Bishop Henry thinks that the Pope should hear about what you wrote.
I think so, too. I would be honored if he read my book.
How's your streaming
Philip,
going?
I really am worried about you.
There is no need for you
I think
to
you
worry,
played,
Jonathan.
what's it, Blackwell the other day?
It is just a book.
Right?
The problem is that the people love your sermons. And what you wrote. Even though most of them can't read. Your book is being copied in priories all over England.
Is that not a good thing, if our message gives people hope?
Hey, Mitchell.
In desperate times, hope can be a powerful force.
I still have Unavowed to play.
True.
Well, I fear the bishops. They might come to believe you took that power from them.
Huh? Do you?
Isn't that the game with the 3 or 4 characters with their magic abilities and stuff? Isn't that Unavowed? Or what am I thinking on, or is it Gemini Rue? No, Gemini Rue is the game in the past, or in the present, right? With the police cop and something with the time. Something new tonight? Legend of Grimrock. Oh. Has the people with the powers. Thank you, Braxton. Yeah. And Gemini Rue, isn't that the game with a police cop and a retired police cop and something else, and they also have their set of abilities or something? The Secret Society, yeah. You're gonna play Legend of Grimrock, a dungeon crawler, huh? I've seen I'm not into dungeon crawlers, but actually Legend of Grimrock is actually one of the dungeon crawlers that actually somewhat appeals to me, because it's not, the surroundings are not the same. They change a bit throughout the game, and it seems like it's a dungeon crawl that fits my kind of ability in, because I never play RPGs, or I played Diablo as a kid. That's about it. I know it has puzzles as well. Philip's second book, The Divine Soul. In his text, Philip suggests that we all carry a godly spark within us because God created man. And while sometimes it may seem as if God had abandoned us, God is indeed always closer to us than anything else, because our soul is of a divine nature. This means that man doesn't have to wait for salvation from the outside, but that we can all change the world around ourselves. We can plant a seed, and God in return will make it grow. Sorry, I'm eating raisins. Philip's message of hope is heard in all of England and even other parts of Europe. But the church is highly critical of the text. In his first book, Philip had only criticized fake miracles. Now he seems to claim that as all men are equally divine, members of the clergy are not closer to God's glory than any other man. Thanks, Mighty.
You'll be happy when I get that problem fixed. If I get it fixed.
Jack!
Have you been atop the cathedral during the storm?
But
Don't
no
worry,
matter fail,
Philip.
if you like
Storm isn't as
RPGs
bad
and
up
dungeon crawlers and stuff, you should
shouldn't
go
be out
follow
there
Mitchell.
risking your life.
Or Mitchell.
You should be with your children. Sally and Tommy have been
He
asking
plays
for
a
their
lot of
parents all
RPGs,
morning.
old and new. Alina and Jack's family. After the promise to Valorin to keep Kingsbridge protected, Richard and Jack have spent much time fortifying the town. Since then, William Hamley has not dared to attack the town again. Aliena, who's continued her wool business, trades mostly outside of Showering. Most of the fleece she's trading is produced in Kingsbridge, where Jack erected 2 felting mills. Aliena and Jack have 2 children now. Tom is already 12 years old. His little sister Sally is 9. Martha looks after both of them while Jack and Aliena are working. Some believe that Martha and Richard are in love. But if that is true, they are keeping their secret well guarded.
The storm is tearing our east wall apart. If the storm works, I work. Jonathan, did you and the others come directly from Winchester?
Yes, we did.
What about Aliena?
She stayed a day longer for the fleece fair. She should be on her way back now.
In this storm?
We didn't expect it to get worse.
No one did.
I am sure she'll be all right.
I need to go. I think I know why the east wall is unstable.
Yes? Why is that?
I'm not sure, but I think the answer lies down in the crypt. I should hurry before it's too late.
Door into the cathedral. Can we go into the chapter house? I don't know why. No, that's not the way to the crypt. Fair enough. He doesn't want to look at the crack. Oh, there it is. Right above the crypt.
I don't like the look of that. I don't like it one bit.
Definitely check out. I like inventory management. Yeah. But you know what? Let me just do it easy for you. Let's do this. Then you could go follow him. And he streams almost every day. Primarily in the weekdays. And he plays RPGs and also puzzle games. So, hey. And while we're at it, why don't give Braxton as well? He also plays, like me, puzzle games, point and clicks. I think he played through primarily all of the Myst games. You're welcome, Mitchell. I don't mind doing shoutouts, but sometimes it just gets overwhelming when you come into a channel, so I try to keep it at a minimum. But no matter fail, follow these two guys if you like RPGs and more puzzle games. Braxton have been playing so many puzzle games and point and clicks that I've never heard of, and yeah. Let's go to the crypt. Oh wow. There's the Weeping Mary. The relic. A statue Rashid gave me.
Rashid was right. People love to believe in miracles. But the reason most people come to Kingsbridge now is for Philip's sermons. He tells them what they need to hear. He gives them hope. Do you know what's going on here, Mary?
Okay. Can we break Mary?
I might carve her likeness in stone someday, but not today.
Okay. Fair enough. We don't want to destroy our relic. There's the crack.
That definitely wasn't here before. The cause of the instability must be down here.
There you are. What are you doing all the way down here? Tell me. Let's use the chisel.
Here we go. Dear God. These stones, they've been removed before. Whoever put them back just added some mortar on top of the stones to hide the fact that they were removed. The tile at the bottom was completely loose.
What does that mean?
I think it was an entrance.
An entrance? To where?
That's what we'll find out.
Careful now.
I just saw the stream. Your stream title, Braxton.
Wall on top of you.
The Brackside Detective Poo Poo Movie Edition. Now with extra sauce.
I just hit my head. It's dark in here. There's a whole room here. A chamber. I'll get a torch.
Philip, I'll get it. You stay here.
What have we found? What is in that chamber? Sand. Sand everywhere. Parts of the room must have collapsed. Brush? What is that?
It's made of leather. It's a whip. What is that doing here?
A torture chamber?
What's a whip doing here?
A wooden cup? A wooden drinking cup?
That's not wood. It's metal.
The Holy Grail?
Gold, even. Maybe Philip knows what this is.
A coffin?
Is that a coffin? Oh, there's sand everywhere. Uh-huh. It's a bed.
What?
There's a bed in here.
What? Jonathan, we need that torch. I have the torch.
All right, come in here. Should be safe. Did you know about this place?
No. No, I did not.
You should definitely follow them and look them up. They're good people
when I was very young.
and fun to be around with.
It's the chalice of the Eucharist from Kingsbridge Cathedral.
The chalice they say my father stole.
Cuthbert told me about it. They said it was stolen.
And melted down, I know. Mother told me. They also said it was my father who did it.
Did they?
So he's innocent then?
He must be.
And whoever hid the chalice is responsible for his death. They hanged him in Shiring for stealing this chalice. But it was here all along.
That scourge, the whip. It belonged to Prior James. I was afraid of it when I first visited Kingsbridge with Francis and Abbot Peter. Even the look of it scared me.
James. Maybe it was him. I think I saw him during the night of the fire in the cathedral. When the old cathedral burned down. There was a man in the fire. His shoulders were bloody, as if he had chastised himself.
It is you! By God and the devil!
He told me that he had sinned, that he had done something to me. Perhaps because I looked like my father.
So he confessed for framing your father while he hid the cup here?
But it couldn't have been James you saw. James died weeks before the fire.
Did he? You said they never found his body. Maybe he hid down here. Maybe that's why the bed's here.
Wait. Jack, you were in the burning cathedral. What were you doing there?
Confess to burning down the cathedral.
And then I told Philip what I'd done. He just looked at me. Didn't say anything.
Prior James's scourge. As a child, Philip was afraid of Prior James's scourge. He first saw it when he and Abbot Peter, the man who raised him, and Francis, after their parents were killed, visited Kingsbridge. Years later, James decided that Philip, now a young man, should get the chance to lead his own priory cell, St. John in the Forest. Every time Philip visited the mother house in Kingsbridge, he always remembered the day he first saw the scourge. Abbot Peter did not like the idea that pain could lead to salvation, but Prior James believed that chastising oneself was the only way to cleanse the soul from the sinful implications of the flesh. After Jack told Philip that he believed Prior James was alive the day the cathedral burned down, Philip remembered that only weeks before, must be a typo, the choir did not dare to sing, because they thought they heard something chastising himself in the crypt. Maybe they really did hear James. Maybe James did hide in the secret room in the crypt. But why?
Wailerin, what do you want?
Do you think it is wise to resign yourself to gluttony at times like these, while your people starve on the streets of Shiring?
Don't play the saint. You promise them miracles, and you make them pay. But your miracles never work out, do they?
God works in ways that we cannot comprehend.
My mother cannot walk. You failed. Again. What do you want?
I came about a book.
The Bible again?
No. Philip of Gwynedd wrote it. And the church is displeased. Bishop Henry was enraged. This is our chance, William.
Your chance, you mean? If you need forces, talk to Walter, or Ugly. I don't care. I built your fucking cathedral. I'm done.
It's not just about Philip. It's about Aliena and her family.
Don't mention that name.
But have you not heard? King Stephen and Maud's son just signed a peace treaty.
I don't care.
You should care.
I said I don't. Now leave, and don't come back unless I ask for you. Where's my wife?
They've not returned yet, Lord William.
Then get me a whore! Now!
The end of the war. After over 15 years of civil war, the battle between Stephen and Maud, England was more divided than ever. After a final confrontation at Willingford, Empress Maud's son, Henry II, and Stephen arranged a truce. The treaty was later signed in Winchester and Westminster. According to the treaty, Stephen will remain king until his death and then be succeeded by Henry II. The treaty further states that all decisions regarding land which were made during Stephen's reign are immediately reverted and restored to the time of King Henry I. You're half lurking, avoid your spoilers. Mitchell is so good. This means that the earldom of Sharing again belongs to the heirs of Bartholomew and not to the Hamleys. But who would dare to go against William Hamley? We would. Oh shit. Find shelter. Oh. Can't we go here? Enter hut.
I am sorry for intruding, but I must ask you for shelter. I was on my way from the Fleece Fair in Winchester to Kingsbridge and got caught in the storm.
Nasty, isn't it?
Yes. And it's getting worse and worse. Thank you for your hospitality.
Someone! Help me! Please! I need help!
Excuse me, haven't you heard it too?
I'm hurt!
Who's saying that noise? Rocket peasant.
Didn't you hear that?
Out here! I'm out here!
Hello? Oh dear, are you hurt?
My horse! It fell! I can't move!
Take my hand! We'll get you inside! We'll only be here until it's safe to leave. We won't bother you. I'm Aliena. What's your name?
Elizabeth.
Breathe, Elizabeth. You're safe now.
Mm-hmm.
She took her in.
Should have let her die. We would all be better off without someone like her.
Just a girl. Find something to warm her. Sorry, I just have to reply to a message here. What do we have? Oh,
She's avoiding eye contact.
What about the rocket peasant?
You should get out of this place as soon as you can.
Shut up.
Be assured, I will leave as soon as the storm ceases.
I don't like this.
A rock plank that smells like horse.
Hey, what are you gonna do with that?
I'm just going to borrow it.
Let's try to get along until the storm passes. Hold your horses. We'll see what happens.
I hope the storm spares your homes and fields.
If only we had that much left.
We still have our lives.
And our dignity.
You still have yours.
We don't have much, but always enough for a lost soul.
She doesn't deserve anything.
Take a bowl and go ahead.
Take the bowl. Scoop it with a pot. Give it to the girl.
Shush. Let her eat.
Thank you.
What's she doing now?
Eat this. You must be hungry.
Thank you. That's nice of you.
Why are you giving her soup? Dirt. That's what she deserves for dinner.
What? Do you want her to starve?
Please, don't start a fight.
I don't know. I think she's freezing.
Give her the blanket.
Thank you.
Hey, that's our blanket.
Shut up.
Can't you see she's freezing?
It's all right. It's just a blanket.
Oh, you're so kind. Many people would have let me die. People don't listen to me. My entourage didn't even notice they lost me.
Who?
My husband and his entourage.
Oh, a fine husband you have. I divorced my last one for less than that.
Divorced? Oh, he's just been beside himself ever since his mother.
Maybe now you'll understand what loss feels like. And what you people are doing to us.
Stop bullying her. Can't you see she's upset? How do they know you? This isn't right.
Chew.
Oh, I'm used to it. I guess that's how it is when your husband holds an office like that. He has to do a lot of things people don't like. And sometimes they recognize me, too.
Wait.
Is your husband the Earl of Shiring?
Is your husband the Earl of Shiring?
I thought you knew.
William Hamley.
Oh, please don't abandon me too. I swear, I'm not... I can't...
Why did you marry him? Yeah.
I used to know him when I was a girl.
Really?
Why did you marry him?
My parents arranged it.
Okay.
And it was an honor to be picked.
What's he like now?
I loathe him with all my heart. How do you know him?
Be blunt. He killed my servant. He killed Tom the Builder. Wrecked my home. Killed several monks. Yeah.
He wanted to marry me when I was your age. Apparently he likes young girls, no matter how old he gets.
You too were supposed to marry him. How come you didn't?
He was a beast. So I refused.
You refused him?
It caused a lot of misery.
Oh, you're so courageous. I wish I was like you. I can't even stand up to the servants.
Don't act like you didn't have a hand in the downfall of this land. For years he roamed across the country to raid, rape and kill.
I'm sorry.
He's no Earl. After all he's taken from us, we should take something from him, too.
She has nothing to do with this. Don't you dare touch her. Can't you see she's another one of his victims?
Oh, give over. She's in on it too.
Can you even imagine how it must be to be a child married to Hamley? The abuse and the humiliation every single day. I'm so sorry.
I'm crying because you know too.
Enough to know your pain.
I just don't know what to do anymore.
Tom, where the hell am I supposed to tether this horse?
It's Walter. He's looking for me.
Come with me to Kingsbridge.
Come with me to Kingsbridge. People will take care of you there.
That should do it.
Walter.
You? I've not seen you in a long time. William would be very pleased if I brought him your head.
No! Don't harm her. If it wasn't for her, I'd be dead. She saved me from the storm.
Did she now? Come on, we have to get back to the castle. We've lost too much time already.
The girl stays with me.
Elizabeth stays with me.
No, she doesn't.
She does.
Thank you for saving me and protecting me from these people.
Come on now, we need to get going. William is waiting.
William's wife. And it goes bonkers. Great. Okay. You found a secret chamber underneath Kingsbridge Cathedral. You confessed to Philip that you burned down the cathedral. Philip's book is strongly criticized by the church. The war between Empress Maud and King Stephen has ended. You found Elizabeth only after you entered the hut. You brought her some soup. You helped her warm up with a blanket. You kept quiet when Walter entered the hut. In chapter 18.
Dear Francis, the letters I have written to you over the years surely could be bound into a book. One of our young novices once asked me why I write to you when you are dead.
We don't know.
The young can be blunt, but the thing is, I think you are still alive. One day, I hope, I will find you, and then you will read these letters. And when you do, you will know that I was busy writing a book. Because of my book, I may have to talk to Bishop Henry. But that is not the only thing that keeps me awake tonight.
Was it my rejection that bittered William to the prospect of marriage for the years that followed? Was I the reason he married so late? After I met Elizabeth, I later found out that she was the daughter of Harold of Weymouth, a wealthy knight and supporter of Stephen. Elizabeth was only 14 at the time of the wedding. Bishop Walleran wed them in the Cathedral of Shirring, and everyone of importance was invited to the large feast. Elizabeth is a gentle girl who probably felt honored to be chosen to become the Earl's wife. I dare not imagine how William treated her. One more reason to finally put an end to all of this. Right about discovering the crypt? Yeah.
Behind a wall in our crypt, Jack discovered a hidden room. We do not know who built it, but it is likely that Prior James hid there, even after he was said to have drowned. That means he was alive when we met in Kingsbridge on New Year's Day, the day of his burial. And Jack told me he saw a man in the church the night it burned down. Was that him? And if so, did he burn in the fire that night?
Right about Kingsbridge.
The dust storm and the drought are taking their toll on all of us. Thanks to our town wall, we are safe from the Earl and the outlaws. We've heard of places nearby being raided. We believe the attackers were William Hamley's men. We have enough food to last us another few weeks. But life has come to a halt. Martha believes there will be rain soon. But the storm is only a harbinger of rain. I hope that she is right.
Write about book.
Jonathan worries about my book. The Divine Soul. In Winchester, he heard that Bishop Henry was less than pleased by what I had written. I am not naive enough to pretend I do not know why. I wrote that hope is godly, and since God made each of us, hope and salvation are only to be found within ourselves. Henry sells hope, and I am giving it away for free. If the church should ask me to clarify my position, of course I shall do so. But I feel I must give our people what they need in these desperate times. And how could I write anything else if this is what I truly believe?
End letter.
It must be well after midnight. With you, I can be honest about what truly troubles me. Jack told me that he was responsible for the fire in Kingsbridge. I know that it was a long time ago. He told me he set fire to the roof so there would be work for his father, Tom.
By God, save yourselves! The saint! We must save the saint! Fire! The whole roof is in flames!
My God!
Don't go in there! Adolphus! The saint! We must save him! No! No! Don't go!
And as horrible as it may sound, I cannot find it in my heart just now to forgive Jack. Maybe because this confession comes too late, and from a man who I have learned to trust. This is the truth. I should get some air, Francis. The storm has settled down. Later. I need time to think.
Look at the books. Copies of my book.
I don't like to indulge in my own writings.
Oh, come on.
I know them by heart. But Jonathan insisted we keep them.
The storm died down.
Jack is still working. He always is.
Let's leave the prize room. Take a walk.
A magnificent cathedral. But I would have been more than content with the old one, had it not been burned to the ground.
I don't know where he wants to go, but...
If James died in that fire, then what happened to his remains? He was never properly buried. And that is Jack's fault.
They finally fixed the hole the hole in the wall.
Jack started the fire. He should have told me.
Why does that, when I click the river, reminds him of Jack and the fire? It doesn't make much sense. Okay, let's go into the cathedral.
Hello? I thought I saw someone.
You did.
That came from the kitchen.
Yes,
Oh, it's you.
You startled me.
I thought I heard something.
You did?
Was that you?
No, but I heard it too. Maybe Aliena came back.
No. No, she's asleep. She returned a few hours ago. Damn it.
Jack.
Sorry. There's someone in the kitchen.
Yes, I think you're right.
Stay behind me. I'll go ahead. There's someone in here.
Outlaws. They are probably just after food. I will talk to them.
I think it's William.
All right. Please, listen.
It's Hamley, I know.
We don't mean you harm.
Philip, be careful! Damn it! Philip, throw me a stone!
Damn it!
Ah! Jack, no! It's him. Brother Marcus.
Brother Marcus?
He took Cuthbert's keys to steal food here from the kitchen. Because of me, Remigius found out. And he left. We never saw him again.
Looks like he came back. You didn't mean for this to happen.
No, but...
What about him?
Don't be afraid.
Ah! Why did you do that, you animal? I will get the others.
No!
What?
He's just a child.
Just a child. Jack forgave the child, just like that. And I forgave him. For that was what he had been when he arrived in Kingsbridge. Just a child. Who was I to judge this man for not confessing earlier what he had done? I had never told his wife, Aliena, that I was responsible for her fate, and for her father's. Even that night, when we all met, I did not dare to tell her.
The walls of Kingsbridge weren't enough anymore. The outlaws had found a way in. We weren't safe in our homes.
So this is what it has come to. Kingsbridge is under attack.
Why didn't Uncle Richard chase them away? Why?
Now, now, do not exaggerate. This is not a siege.
We only saw 2 of them, and one of them was a child.
But they almost killed you.
Calm them down.
They were just looking for food. They didn't mean any harm.
It's the drought. It destroyed all the crops. They must eat something.
Desperate or not, they're only the vanguard of a full-scale invasion.
If we had a decent Earl, the people wouldn't be starving.
It is all too easy to blame a desperate child. Forgiveness is much harder.
It is.
But forgive we must.
Can you? Forgive, I mean.
I already have.
Hamley is the reason for this. He's to blame. It's that simple.
Well, he won't be Earl for long. The Treaty of Wallingford has been signed at last. It's only a matter of time until things change.
What treaty? Winchester is in turmoil about this right now. Stephen and Maud have signed the treaty. Maud's son, Duke Henry, is to be crowned the next king.
And, by agreement, all lands are to be returned to their previous owners.
But Stephen will continue to rule as long as he lives.
The earldom will be ours again.
It will not.
Why the bloody hell not?
Bloody hell.
Language?
No one will enforce this until Stephen is dead.
What is to be done then?
Appeal to the new king.
Henry II will help us. We wait until he's king and then ask for our earldom.
And if Hamley were to fight the decision, he'd have to face the king's army.
Well, if they're hungry, can't we just give them something to eat? I'll share.
We should, and we will. But there are too many to feed them all.
We must do something.
Well, I cannot sit quietly and wait until Stephen dies of old age. The Treaty of Wallingford is in place. I won't wait for another 17 years. Not when I'm so close to fulfilling the promise I made to my father.
You're right, but it wasn't William Hamley who came here last night. It's the outlaws we need to worry about.
Well, what do we do about it?
Speak up for the outlaws? Show compassion?
A few more months like this, and we'll be where they are now. We should support them, not fight them.
You are right, of course. But how can we help?
We could provide weapons for them to fight Hamley.
To fight him? You mean to pillage and plunder? That'd be more likely.
What about his mother? I've heard that Hamley still listens to her, that she still has a say in Earl's Castle.
Yes, let's tell his mother.
If we spoke to Regan Hamley, we might not need a physical confrontation at all.
That'll never work. We have to assault them and take back our father's castle. Even if that means fighting alongside the outlaws.
I don't like either choice, to be honest.
Neither do I. So, what do you think, Alina?
I will talk to the outlaws.
I will talk to the outlaws. Maybe we can find someone who can speak on their behalf. And if there's no one, then we will.
I'll ride with you.
You won't, Cub. Not with that leg of yours.
Your mother is right. Besides, if we all turn up, they might think we mean them harm.
Let me just go and refill my coffee, and I'll continue from there. See you in a bit. And I'm back. So, let's go to right south.
Our hopes of meeting allies on the road to Shiring were fading with every mile. The only people we saw were sitting by the side of the road, broken and starving. Shiring was riddled with death and despair. I'd heard that Wiggly had just been raided by outlaws, leaving them almost entirely without cattle. Maybe someone there knew where the raiders had come from. But Calford, on the other hand, had a recent falling out with William Hamley. There was a chance that they would be quick to join our resistance.
Let's go to Calford.
We entered the village. There was a weary young man trying to repair a roof. He pointed toward a ruined mill. Hamley's Mill, he called it, which used to have the right to grind all grain from the nearby villages.
Okay.
That was until a few days ago. Hamley had come to collect his share and, due to the famine, was met with empty coffers. Enraged, he'd killed the miller and had taken every last bag of flour belonging to the starving people of Calford. Many had fled into the forest, desperate for their lives.
Should we go to Whaley? I just discovered this feature. I think it's cool. Let's go to Whaley. Wiggly.
As we reached Wiggly, we met a farmer tending to a scrawny chicken. She told us that Hamley had claimed ownership of all their cattle. Shortly after that, the cattle vanished. Raiders had taken it, throwing William Hamley into a fit of rage.
What kind of earl is he?
Some say they recognized the thieves, neighbors who had once lived among them. They were long believed to be among the dead. Were we really building our hopes on a pack of ghosts?
Let's go to Huntley. Let's visit all the places we can before we go to the Shiring.
The fields of Huntley spurred fond memories. Here, I'd negotiated my first deal to transport and sell the farmer's wool. Now, the meadows had turned to straw, and the sheep were dead.
Wow.
Soon, we reached Uncle Simon's abandoned hut. Our horses needed rest, so we wanted to leave them there while we looked around on foot. Then, I remembered how Richard had been kicked by the man William had paid to catch us, and the horrible sounds he'd made lying there. Inside the hut, I was startled by a hunched figure hiding in a corner, nibbling on a lump of bread. Upon seeing us, the creature's eyes widened, like those of a frightened animal. I asked him where he got bread in times like these. Was it stolen? No, I got it from the butcher. The people at Sally's quarry told me to ask the butcher, he blurted out, startled by his own voice. Mistaking our interest for greed, he wolfed down the rest of the bread. Before we could ask more, the frightened man jumped up and fled into the forest. The butcher, was he the one we were looking for? A leader whom the downtrodden trusted and feared? Maybe we could find him at the quarry the man had mentioned.
Let's go to the quarry.
The abandoned quarry was teeming with activity. Many poor souls were gathering around a fireplace, boiling a stew from meat and turnips. It was plain to see that these people weren't held together by blood or profession, but by hunger and desperation. And by their numbers, I thought, that could make them quite dangerous. Were these outlaws?
Observe from afar.
The outlaws were using a moss-covered cave and little huts as shelter. Through the cave entrance, we could see stacked crates of goods, most likely stolen. The outlaws were of varying ages and seemed almost peaceful in their little haven. Suddenly, we were startled by a shout. "Who are you?" a boy demanded with anger in his eyes. All eyes darted towards us. Their reactions were as varied as their faces. Some looked afraid, curious, and confused. Others were full of hatred and contempt. "We're not here to hurt you," I explained. "We just want to talk." "Where can I find the butcher?" I asked. Their faces expressed anger and fear. I explained that we were looking for food. They told us that the butcher was still in Monksfield, but that meat would come every couple of days. I said that wouldn't be a problem, not knowing what they meant. It looked like our path would lead us back to Monksfield.
Meat. Horse meat. So this is where it came from.
Are you selling this?
It depends on who's asking.
Ask about the meat.
Someone told us they got meat in Monksfield.
Oh dear, I hope you didn't come empty-handed. Only if you bring me an animal, then I can prepare it for you. A horse, maybe?
So this is horse meat? Where would you find a horse in times like these?
Do people call you the butcher then?
There is much truth in your words, but...
Why'd you ask? What do you want?
Do you have a lot of outlaws passing by?
You don't see it in their faces, dear. But we all have been failed by the law and our leaders. Don't you agree?
I ask because we feel the same way. And we're looking for a way to make things right again.
Is that so?
We're looking to build an army, to invade Earl's castle and kill Earl William Hamley.
Oh my. If it was that easy, someone would have done that a long time ago. The poor souls I meet, they're just simple people. They're not an army.
Lead them.
We would lead them.
I'm a knight. I know how to turn ordinary men into fighters.
In their condition, most of them can barely kill a chicken, let alone a man. These people are mothers, fathers, hard workers, yes, but they are not soldiers.
We'd reward them if they helped us.
You must know we are the rightful heirs to Earl Bartholomew of Shiring, and would show ourselves very generous.
So, you're just another pair of nobles who want to use us as pawns in their battle, to die for you.
No.
It is the best chance we have. This is a battle for the sake of the people of Shiring, for all of us.
It's rubbish. It's what it is.
We are offering you a chance to rid the land of Hamley, to fight for your freedom.
The last time I saw you, you showed kindness toward that young woman who was with you. I am willing to listen to a good soul, but I won't help you blindly.
That woman that was here, that you helped, that was Hamley's wife. His wife, my God. How stupid do you think we are?
Right, it's a trap.
Well, How can these people put their life at risk if they do not trust you? You are not like us.
Yeah.
I know.
Stressed that you would fight without them. Stressed that you were poor once too.
Oh, I know what it's like to live in poverty.
And just like you, we had William Hamley to thank for it.
But I also know that if one fights the right battles, that things can change for the better.
But they're starving, my child. They are weakened by poverty, hunger, and illness. Who are you to think you can face William Hamley?
Yeah. You! Who do you think you are?
Mention how your father was just an earl. Was a just earl. Stress that you're the rightful heir.
We are the rightful heirs to the earldom of Shiring.
We were born for this.
You think that makes you better than us?
No.
William Hamley is Earl too.
We won't bow to the current Earl, and neither will we bow to you.
Yeah.
Right.
Even if we work together, Hamley is too powerful.
You ask us to sacrifice our lives for your noble cause, these people will die.
Mention that you will make the same sacrifice.
We too will make the same sacrifices. I only ask of you what I myself am willing to give. If anything happens to you, it will also happen to me.
You have noble principles, I see.
Yeah.
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 Listen to yourself. You don't sound any better than the kings and nobles that have stolen from us and forsaken us.
Yeah, get lost.
Wait.
Didn't you hear? Get out.
How can you be so dense? This is your battle too.
We've lost them, Richard. Let's go. It's probably better this way. We are on our own. If we succeed, things will be better. For all of you, I promise.
I will pray for you, child. It is not too late to stop. Stay away from Earl's Castle.
For us, there is no turning back.
The first House Lord have made their way into Kingsbridge. Damn it, we failed to raise an army. Oh well. We found the leader of the outlaws. Oh well. Can't win them all.
And so, after 17 years, I finally returned to the place I'd once called home. Because I had failed to gain support from the people of Shiring, my only hope now was a deal with William Hamley's mother, Regan. A woman whose possible support was only guaranteed by rumor.
Earl's Castle. Originally the father of Earl Bartholomew ordered to build a castle a few miles outside the market town of Shiring, which was meant to serve as the seat of the town's Earl. That area included a small village, the surroundings and the building itself is known as Earl's Castle. The castle had mainly served as living quarters for the Earl's family but its defenses have rarely been used. After Earl's Castle had been violently seized by the Hamleys, all other inhabitants were driven from the estate. Nowadays, Earl Castle is a name to be feared, even ever since the cathedral shiring was finished. William Hamley has become more disgruntled. Some believe he has lost his faith, and others lives to satisfy his own greed and hunger by stealing from the starving peasants.
Get in line and stay in line. You'll all get your chance to pay your dues to Lord Hamley, you hear? So no pushing.
Let's talk to the crown. Oh, wow.
Why does Lord Hamley need all that food? Are you all right?
What do you think? Of course I'm all right. I'm more all right than anyone else in this crowd. Just because Lord Hamley insists on women to deliver the tributes, don't mean you have to send your youngest and prettiest. Fools.
Are you all right?
What do you think? I'm more all... Just because Lord Hamley insists...
Okay. I got some apples.
Patience, patience. Everyone will get a chance to pay their dues to Lord Hamley.
Small and dry apple.
I'm just a shepherd's daughter. I have no business here. He has more than enough food already.
Bloody beggars.
Can I use this on him?
Let me pass.
Ha! Wait till it's your turn.
Talk to this woman.
Calm yourself. I'll make sure that nothing will happen to you. They took a woman in my town. She never came back. Nothing will happen to you if you just remain calm. I want to go home.
Oi, you there. Yes, I meant you. That's a pretty face you got there. You're coming with me.
What? Leave her. Take me instead.
Well, whatever. You'll walk to the other side of the yard and talk to Walter. He'll get you settled. And don't you dare stray from the path.
They look familiar. Can I toss it to them?
I shouldn't draw attention to myself.
No? This guy? No.
Are you done yet?
Almost. Let me just see if I took enough.
They're pigs. Can I give the pigs?
No.
No.
What are you doing here? You need to leave. Don't come any closer. William has me watched.
What's taking so long?
I forgot the pork. I'll be out shortly. Wait a moment, then follow me. We don't have much time. You will look for me any moment now. So why did you come?
I'm waiting.
Among other things, I came for you.
We don't have much time.
King Stephen has declared a truce with Empress Maud. William's tyranny is over. This land might finally see peace again. There's also another reason why I came. To talk to Regan Hamley and to get you far away from here until things are settled.
What will become of me then?
You could help me with my business.
My brother will become the next Earl, but I'll run things alongside him. At the same time, I don't want to give up my wool trade, so you could help me there.
I want to help you. I really do. But I don't know how. I feel so useless.
Can you take me to Lady Hamley?
Can you take me to Lady Hamley?
I wouldn't know how. Hugh Axe is watching me. He would never let you through. Only Walter and I are allowed inside the keep. Why don't you ask him? Walter.
Walter? William's dog?
Don't call him that. He's not as bad as people say he is. William won't allow me to talk to him anymore. Now Lady Regan is all I have left.
Run to Kingsbridge. They will help you.
Run to Kingsbridge. They'll help you.
I can't. William's men would see me if I tried to leave. I tried already. Please, let me stay and help you.
I'll talk to Walter then.
I will talk to Walter then.
Hurry up in there! Or do you want me to come in and pull you out?
I need to go.
Elizabeth seemed to trust Walter. What's so wrong about him? Let us just save. We actually haven't saved since we started, so let's save. Can we go up on the walls, or will he kill me? I can go up on the wall. Elizabeth told me you would help me.
Elizabeth claims you aren't such a bad person after all.
Am I not? Have you forgotten that I killed your family's steward?
You got problems over there, Walter?
Tell your guard to stand down.
Tell your guard to stand down.
You will have a heart.
Have a heart.
So, you think I'm a nice bloke, and you give me orders on how to handle my men? Don't make me laugh. Hugh!
What?
I'll do better than William Hamley. Let me end.
If you let me go, I promise I will end William Hamley's reign.
I don't believe you. But it's not up to me to judge these things. I'll take you to Lady Hamley. She'll decide. My lady?
Elizabeth, could you get me some water, dear?
Yes, my lady. But first I need you to wake up, my lady. There is someone who wants to see you. It's the Lady Aliena.
The Lady Aliena? When did that bitch become nobility again?
Demand more respect.
You would do well to call me by my proper title.
Why should I?
I'm certain you've heard about the treaty the king made with Duke Henry at Wallingford Castle.
I have. I have also heard that it's a muddled mess.
It is a complicated deal indeed, but one that will end the war. And one that makes my family the rightful owners of this earldom once more.
Only by word. There's no one who would come to enforce this, not even the king.
These people of Shiring will rise up.
You need to understand that there is great anger among the peasants of Shiring. Anger against your son, against you, even against that poor woman, Elizabeth. If your son doesn't step down, the people will take their land back by force.
That's a lie. My William is a better earl than your father ever was.
Sure.
To think that I once wanted to marry my good William into a family like yours. Not a day goes by when I am not glad that God saved us from that horrible fate. And that he sent that monk to Bishop Waleran to unveil your father's evil plan.
What monk?
That prior of Kingsbridge. Philip of Gwynedd.
What?
Please, my lady, you need to hear her out.
Oh, my dear Elizabeth, don't you see what she is trying to do to us?
If you don't listen, things will get worse. You can't punish me for denying William. If you don't listen, things will get worse.
If you don't listen, things will get worse for everyone. People are starving because of your son. They will rise up and come for you. They're already attacking Kingsbridge. It's only a matter of time till they come here.
My lady, the Lady Aliena came here to make things better.
She has only ever made things worse. She mocked my son for wanting to marry her.
She had every right to deny him.
What? How can you say that? He is your husband. He's good to you.
If it wasn't for Walter, I'm sure William would have killed me already.
What's going on here? What's that bitch doing here?
She's trying to bargain.
She's trying to take everything.
Is she? Is she now?
Leave it.
Shut up, old man.
Oh, yeah.
Cut that whore up, Walter.
No. You brought this on yourself.
You bloody traitor! Someone get up here! Men! You will pay. You will all pay for this.
Stabby, stabby. Oh, is he lying there? Ready to die? Bye.
Is he dead?
He is. William Hamley is dead.
What now?
Now, we tell his men.
Karma is a bitch. And he suffered.
Drop your weapons immediately!
Behold the banner of the new Earl of Shiring!
Everyone, listen! Lord Hamley is dead! The castle now belongs to the former Earl's family again.
What? You're shitting us!
It was the King's wish.
Who killed him?
I killed him.
He died because he refused to hand over Earl's Castle peacefully.
He died by my hand. My name is Lady Aliena of Shiring. I'm the daughter of Bartholomew, the former Earl of these lands. I've been tasked to end the tyranny of William Hamley and restore order to Shiring.
Our occupation of Shiring has been made unlawful. Every attack on us is sanctioned by the King of the English.
So what will happen to us then? I shall tell the king that William Hamley forced you to do his bidding. That every atrocity done to the people of Shiring was his doing and his alone. That
You will
is my
help the
final
people of
word.
Shiring recuperate.
You will get your chance for redemption by helping the people of Shiring recover from your own cruelty. And by rebuilding their homes and tending to their fields.
Ali, I know that you're a much better leader than I. Without you, we would never have come this far. You never hesitated with swearing and fulfilling the oath to father. In the end, I will be the Earl in name only, but you shall be the true ruler of Shiring.
We shall rule together.
Don't say that. We'll do it together.
Let's discuss this later. I owe you a lot, Ali. The tyranny of William Hamley is over! The earldom of Shiring belongs to its rightful heir!
Reinstatement of Richard of Shiring. King Henry II, by the counsel of all his barons and the fulfillment of the Treaty of Wellingford, has decreed that Shiring and each township shall return to the owners from before the form Lord King Stephen's time. Within the term fixed for its sovereignty, those to be in succession by blood of former Earth Bartholomew of Shiring shall claim the title. Richard of Shiring therefore is to be announced Earl in an official ordeal of an inauguration.
Send a messenger to Kingsbridge to let Prior Philip know that Shiring is finally free!
What is it? Why are they laughing?
You can send a messenger if you want, but there won't be much of a prior left when he arrives.
Ali, what's going on?
You snuck into Earl's castle with no one to support you. You did not confront your father's former knights. Elizabeth did not leave Earl's castle and stayed with you to the end. You ordered William's men to help rebuild Shiring. You and Richard will rule Shiring side by side.
The Pope believes we should either burn him or make him Bishop of Kingsbridge.
I have already taken matters into my own hands. My men arrested him while Kingsbridge was left unguarded.
While his friends took Earl's Castle.
Yes.
At least in his death, William Hamley was of use to you.
The end.
Look at all these people. Seems like they're enjoying themselves.
They never change. You drooling dogs should be ashamed!
Shut up, you old hag!
Ellen?
I'm not feeling well.
I'll stay with you. Go ahead, we'll come after you. Quick, you can't be too late.
Is your mother ill?
It's not that. This is where they hanged my father.
The trial begins. The judges. Brother of Stephen, King of the English. The Right Reverend Bishop Henry of Winchester. Her Highness, the Countess Lady Aliena of Shiring. Presiding over the trial, the Right Reverend Bishop of Shiring and Kingsbridge, Waileron Bygod.
Please? The church is not without fault. We have gathered here today before the eyes of God to accuse one of our own. He wrote in his book that the church and the papacy are not necessary as intercessors between God and man. That God is in man, that all men are equal, and that each sinner is as close to our Lord as the Pope himself. Now, we ask God for his judgment. For his is the kingdom, the power, and the glory. Not ours, and not yours. You stand accused of heresy. Philip of Gwynedd, how do you plead? Answer!
Prior, respond to Bishop Waleran.
I'm not guilty.
I am not guilty.
Your teachings speak another language. Guilty, I say.
I am deeply saddened. It may come as a surprise to you, but we had hoped to make you Bishop of Kingsbridge. Why has it come to this, Philip?
In part, I am to blame. I supported Philip in his early years. I demand that Philip be removed from his position of prior immediately.
No.
And that he remain in captivity until such time that Shiring and all of England have healed from the poisonous words he has dispersed.
No!
What? Yes?
Accuse him.
You are accusing Philip because he has defied you.
I made him prior, and grateful he was not. But no, I accuse him because his teachings are false. And I intend to prove that Philip's decisions have been more than misguided in the past.
Esa no.
Call in Remigius.
The Prior of Shiring, Father Remigius.
My bishop.
Tell the court, Remigius, what you have told me.
For many years, I served as sub-prior of Kingsbridge. First for Prior James, then for the accused.
What was your first impression of him?
I was offended by his bluntness and accusations during the chapter discussions.
What else?
Prior Philip did not hesitate to give refuge to the people fleeing Earl's Castle in the winter that our king died.
Is that not a good deed? A true Christian act?
You do not know him as well as you think you do, Lady Aliena. Today, that will change.
The future master builder of our cathedral and his woman were among those taking refuge. They were living in sin. They were unmarried and fornicating. Philip allowed them to stay.
Why would he do that?
I do not know, my bishop.
Maybe because he himself was involved in similar affairs. We will see.
Then, on the day of our first Fleece Fair, we were attacked.
I heard. It was terrible.
I tried to soothe the woman's pain by reading the scripture to her. The builder's woman I have spoken of tried to put a spell on her with poisonous herbs.
I hope you're doing
and
well.
Philip intervened.
Yes. He pushed me aside and gave the woman poison.
No. I gave her herbs.
It is worse than I thought.
It was no poison.
And then there was the day the Virgin Mary's statue arrived in Kingsbridge. I did not believe it was a miracle.
Clearly it is a miracle. I hear of many who were healed in Kingsbridge.
Yes! Amen! Oh, Mary, bless us all!
Well, I soon realized it was a true miracle, but Philip did not. He was only after the money people donated at the Virgin's shrine. That is why I left.
He had to! Amen!
I believe there is one more thing you have not told us about. Something very important.
Yes. Philip has fathered a child!
Unbelievable! I knew it!
A son. And he raised him in the priory.
He is guilty!
Jonathan of Kingsbridge, step forward.
This is preposterous.
Is it?
Is this true? Are you Philip's son? Answer the question, Jonathan of Kingsbridge.
I've always been a father to me.
Philip has always been like a father to me. But he is not my father.
How do you know that?
He told me.
And how do you know he spoke the truth?
Speak.
Philip would
Answer
never
the bishop.
lie.
Philip would never lie. He told me that I was found in the woods.
In the woods? Is this true, Philip? Or are you lying? Well,
my brother found him in the
story
woods.
So many times.
My brother found him.
Had he not been working for Earl Robert of Gloucester? You have not seen him in a long time now, have you? Let us ask your brother if your stories are true.
What? So he is alive? Francis?
Francis, what happened to you?
This is not your fault. He does this to hurt you.
My God.
Francis of Gwynedd. He was arrested more than 15 years ago. He was arrested for conspiring against his own master, Earl Robert.
Remove the prisoner.
Philip told me himself, and I told Earl Robert. For God and the Church cannot take sides in these conflicts. Only one brother has been tried so far, but both of them conspired against Earl Robert. And his ally, Earl Bartholomew, your father, Lady Aliena. Philip took in all those refugees years ago because he was to blame for their fate. As he was for yours when you lost your father and your earldom. That, Lady Aliena, is the man you are trying to protect. Well?
Forgive him.
I know that he is a troubled man. We've all had to make hard decisions. Decisions that seemed right at the time. When indeed, they were terrible mistakes. I am thankful that I was forgiven when I made a mistake. Now I forgive him. Let us now return to the problem at hand. There is a man who witnessed how Jonathan was found in the forest. A man who can shed light on who Jonathan's father really is.
And who is that?
My husband.
Step forward. What is your name?
He is the master builder of Kingsbridge.
My name is... Jack Jackson.
Is he now?
Have you lost your courage?
No, I have not. You know well why it would be hard for me to face you. They call me Jack, after my father. My name is Jack Jackson.
Yes, we have met before.
How old were you when you allegedly saw Jonathan as a child in the woods?
12. But I know what I saw. Philip told the truth.
You were a child. And what were you doing there, in the woods?
I was living in the forest, with my mother.
They were outlaws.
Prior Remigius is the most trustworthy witness we've seen today, and his statement was quite damning to Philip. The distant memories of an outlawed child cannot convince me otherwise.
He fathered a child!
Let
him
go!
He would never do that!
And yet, Lady Aliena is right. We do not know enough to judge him as harshly as you proposed, Bishop Waleran.
You are right, Bishop Henry. As I said, it is not up to us to judge this man. Philip of Gwynedd has pleaded innocent, but how innocent is he? We ask God for his judgment. As Bishop of Kingsbridge and Shiring, I demand an ordeal by fire.
This is madness!
Philip of Gwynedd will be tried and judged at the stake. If he is innocent, God will save him from the flames. If he is not, then he will burn as the heretic and sinner God has declared him to be.
No! Waleran, by God! Not this time.
It's her.
I saw the child and Francis. I was there. Philip is not the child's father. He is a fool, but he is a good man.
Then, who is the father?
Tom Builder.
They are all in this together. This woman is a witch and an outlaw, living in sin with a thief. He was hanged in Shiring 30 years ago.
He was not a thief. He was a good man. You've murdered him, Waleran, by God.
What is this nonsense?
He was a thief. He stole a golden chalice and melted it down and sold it.
Oh, did he?
What chalice?
The chalice of the Eucharist. He stole it from the Cathedral of Kingsbridge.
Sacrilege.
Yes, Prior James of Kingsbridge caught him red-handed.
Show chalice.
Is that the chalice? You said it was melted down and sold.
Fall not for their lies. That could be any chalice. This does not prove a thing.
Where did you find this chalice?
In a secret chamber. We believe Prior James hid it because he felt guilty for falsely accusing Jack's father.
What proof do you have?
He told me. The night the cathedral burned down, I was there, I saw him.
Prior James died weeks before that.
No, he did not.
Bishop Henry, he speaks the truth.
Order! I will give you until sunset to produce a witness who can prove your accusations against Bishop Waleran. Not just this chalice. If you fail to do this, I will make sure you are tried for defamation. Philip of Gwynedd, you will stay under arrest. The trial recommences at sunset.
We need a witness.
What are you doing there?
I've seen you draw up plans for a cathedral. Maybe we can do something similar to find our witness. Let's see. Your father.
He looks just like you.
My grandmother said he did.
And Bishop Waleran. What are the connections? Maybe, by exploring them, we can find a witness.
Good idea.
Jack's father was a jongleur. His parents thought he died on the White Ship. Was then hanged in Showering as a thief.
Jack's father. If he was still with us, he could be our witness.
Maybe he still can.
Bishop Waleran wants to see Philip burn. Is behind the death of so many. Made sure to leave almost no traces. Wants to see Philip burn.
Bishop Waleran is at the center of all this.
But how can we explore further?
Mother says Waleran was behind my father's death.
And she said he wasn't alone. There were 3 men responsible for your father's death. Bishop Waleran, Percy Hamley, back then he was the Sheriff of Shiring, and Prior James of Kingsbridge.
If they were all there, then they were all witnesses.
And only Waleran's still alive.
Hardly a coincidence. Why would these 3 men work together to falsely accuse your father?
He was on the White Ship. No one survived that night. No one lived to tell the story.
Yes. He was the sole survivor.
And then they killed him. But why? And what about the ship?
Why?
Now, what about Prior James?
So, what about Prior James and Waleran?
Waleran was not yet bishop when the hanging took place. He was archdeacon. Philip told me.
But James still had to do what Waleran told him to?
I think that's very likely.
Percy Hamley. Sorry.
William Hamley's father.
Percy Hamley was poisoned.
One less witness that knew about Waleran.
And Waleran probably wanted William to become Earl. He was easier to control than his father.
What about Regan Hamley? She survived.
She was taken to her townhouse in Winchester. And in her condition, she might not be able to help at all.
James was the prior of Kingsbridge.
That's where they say your father stole the chalice, melted it and sold it.
But we know that's not true.
As we found it, Philip recognized the chalice.
But Bishop Henry wants a witness. The chalice isn't enough.
But it's an important lead for us.
Because if he could get
I think we're getting closer.
We are.
James claimed that your father had stolen the chalice and sold it. But instead, James himself hid it in Kingsbridge, in the crypt.
We found his scourge in a bed down there.
That secret chamber is important.
That you found the chalice in Kingsbridge and that it was hidden away proves your father was innocent. But it doesn't prove that Wailerin is behind it.
How would we do this?
Philip said that Prior James was an honest man. So perhaps Wailerin forced him to falsely accuse your father.
Maybe.
That might explain why James was guilt-ridden. The monks still tell the stories about how James thought the devil was after him.
Why was the chalice hidden? And by whom?
You said Prior James was full of regret. He probably couldn't just destroy the chalice. Not even after he used it to frame your father. It was the chalice of the Eucharist, after all. And a token for what he did.
So, by accusing Percy, let's think here.
Percy Hamley was the sheriff of Shiring. Well, he could have ordered your father to be hanged.
But he was arrested and held in Kingsbridge first. Prior James claimed that my father had committed theft.
Your father was locked up in our priory. Do you think Wailerin knew about the hidden chamber?
No. If he had known, then he wouldn't have been that surprised when he saw the chalice. Everyone thought Prior James was dead, that he broke into the ice. And now we know he was hidden away.
Why did his monks believe he was dead?
Sub-Prior Remigius told everyone he had found James' rosary by the river. So everyone thought the body had been washed away. They buried an empty casket.
But how is Remigius involved?
Philip told me that Remigius was there when Wailerin made Philip prior. Wailerin and Remigius knew each other.
That explains why Wailerin later made Remigius prior of Shiring.
And Remigius recognized my mother when we arrived in Kingsbridge. He must have been there at the time my father was arrested. I think Remigius knows all about this.
Is it possible that Wailerin told Remigius to make Prior James disappear when James began to talk about what they'd done?
When James started talking to the devil.
But for some reason, Remigius hid him away. But Wailerin never knew. Yes, that explains why he really didn't believe you. When you said you had seen James in the fire.
Where James died, after all. And Remigius thought no one knew.
We have to find Remigius. He's our witness.
Let's hurry. It's getting dark already. The trial will continue soon.
People know you two. You shouldn't walk around Shiring like that.
He's right.
I'll go look for him.
All right. Take care of yourself. And Jonathan.
Yes?
We will talk later about what was said today. About Tom.
All right. Remigius, now where are you?
Regis is our witness. Where is he? And I think I'm gonna save and leave the rest for tomorrow, because I also got work tomorrow and it's 1 a.m. So I'm gonna leave it here so we can finish it tomorrow, I hope. So I'm gonna say goodbye and go to bed.